Hey guys, we're going to be kicking off at 10:02. Got a couple of people signing up. Nice to see some family joining us. Wogs, I don't know if that's you or one of my nephews signing in there. But enjoy the video, guys. As I say, 5:02 now at 2 p.m. we'll be kicking off. So if you want to grab yourself a cup of coffee or whatnot, or just enjoy the S3 going downwind, pretty crazy downwind that we did. Enjoy. But 2 p.m. is when we will be kicking this thing off. So and kicking off pretty smartly. So don't be late. Haley, good to have you here. Welcome. Haley Joe Vykobi and Eurosteel and Carbonology. And I forget everything else. This S3 going downwind is insane. You definitely want to sit in the back of the boat. The front of the boat, you need to duct tape your nostrils shut and have a seatbelt. It's absolutely mullet on a big downwind. But having the power of 3 paddlers, you catch any run you want to. But you can see how Richard's taking pounding. It's certainly not designed to go downwind, but damn, it can go downwind. Yeah, you're going to hold your breath at the bottom of the runs if you're the front paddler. I mean, look at this now. It was absolutely insane paddle. And what was so much fun is I was with 2 of my best friends. So everything's more fun in company. It was very, very cool. Best threesome I've had. All right, it's on the hour, 2 o'clock. Welcome, everybody. I see some people signing in. Fantastic, but a couple of smaller numbers in this morning's group. But so glad to have you guys here. Very, very cool. I hope if you signed in a little bit earlier, you got to catch some of the S3 going down when the Carbonology S3. These are amazing boats. If you're in any position at a club or whatnot, motivate to get hold of one. Number one is the best way to get people paddling. Paddling with two of your mates is so much fun. These things absolutely go like mad. If you're a mid-packer and you want to know what it's like to paddle at the front of the field, get two of your mates into an S3. You'd be able to kind of keep up with the lineys and you get to feel like you're really fast. So much fun. And they go down like mad. So yeah, and if you are going down, get in the back. It's a lot more fun. So great, we've got people signing in here. That's fantastic. Hey Haley, Gary, nice to have you here. Got some family dialing in. I'm not sure if it's my brother or my nephew, and a couple of other faces here. Give me a shout out in the comments. The way this is working is I can't see you, so right now I'm talking to myself. I'm yelling at my webcam. So the only way I know that I've got an audience out there is if you hit me up in the comments. So give me a holler and let me know that you're here. And yeah, fantastic. So people are coming in. Brilliant, 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 brilliant. All right. Okay, let's crack on. I want this to be 60 minutes. We managed to nail 60 minutes on the nose this morning. And I want to respect your time and stick to 60 minutes. No one likes a webinar that drags on. And Dan, how's it going, man? My training partner from OBPC. Fantastic. Mr. Crossing Gear. Awesome. So let's jump straight in. I'm actually going to say, guys, very quickly, I'm going to jump ahead. Above me, I think kind of over here, if you're on Facebook, roughly here in my comments, there's a link to StreamYard. I want you to right-click on that link. If you are coming up as an anonymous user, right-click on that, open in a new tab, and just click the blue button to give StreamYard permission to know who you are, because quite a few people are coming up as anonymous. If you want to comment so I know who you are, that would be amazing. Nico, welcome. Dave Hendry, another OBPC local, welcome. But if you're anonymous and you want to comment and be recognized, just head over to StreamYard and make that happen. Right-click, open a new tab and click the blue permission button and then come back and watch us here. I'm also streaming live to YouTube on my channel, Rob Mobius, the Freedom Entrepreneur. So if you have challenges with the with the Facebook stream, some people this morning found the YouTube better than Facebook, some people vice versa, but you've got some options to check out. So let me know that you're here. Brilliant. So let's, as I say, let's dive right in. Okay, what can you expect from this session, guys? I've got 4 goals right now. One, I want you as business owners, as people who either run a business or own a business, I want you to be able to see the forest and not just the trees. I want you to understand this marketing landscape, this business landscape, kind of see where you fit in, where your business fits in, have a rough kind of understanding of where it is. That's one of my goals. That's what I'm going to show you today. I want you to know where, not only where you fit in, but I want you to know what your next step should be as well. What do you need to do tomorrow to grow your business? And I want you to be crystal clear on what that step's going to be. So we'll talk about that. We're going to dive into that in some detail. I'm going to show you what it's all about. And then I want you to be part of the paddling community. I'm going to talk quite a bit about the paddling community. It's my real motivation for doing this. Yeah, let's get to that when the time is right. So as I say, guys, as you're tuning in here, I've got quite a few people who are just coming through as anonymous Facebook users. Stoked to have you here. But please do me a favor, head over to streamyard.com/Facebook. Where is it? That link is up here. You don't have to type it in. If you're on Facebook, right-click on that link and go and give permission to yourself, and then you'll come through. So I've got someone saying, "Hi, Robin, we're here. Great to see you, Robin." Someone sharing a YouTube link. That would be the YouTube feed. All those people, if you know who you are, you're coming through as anonymous. So go ahead and give StreamYard permission to give yourself a name so I know who I'm talking to. So other bits of housekeeping, guys. I really feel that I'm giving you really good value today. So what I ask is, if you can kill the cell phone, turn it off, put it in airplane mode, shut it down, get rid of WhatsApp. If you're at the office, close the door, put your email away. You are growing your business today, and I can't think of something that's more important than growing your business. Other than a medical emergency, everything can wait until 3 p.m. We'll be done by 3 p.m. Close the door. Don't have the other tabs open. Just focus. If I can get your attention, I think it's going to make all the difference today. If some of the feedback from this morning's session is anything to go by, I think you guys are really, really going to enjoy it. Gustav, yes, I can see you. Fantastic. Thank you very much. So turn those off, activate your StreamYard, and remove distractions and give me your attention for what is now going to be 55 minutes. So let's go, guys. Let's get started. So I mentioned community. If anyone has shared water with me lately, paddling, or even had me in a car in a downwind or tripping or somewhere, you would have heard me banging on about a paddler's community. This is really my motivation behind this. And this thread of community is going to be woven right through what I'm talking about right now. So let me position what I mean. The last time I checked, we had 15,000 people on our CSA database, paddlers. Haley, I think you're on the committee. Maybe you can let me know in the comments how many people we've got registered on CSA at the moment. I think we're looking at about 8,000 people registered on CSA. Now, that's registered paddlers. We've got a lot of people who aren't paddlers. But that's 8,000 people who form our community. And that's a bit of a sweet spot. That's a magic number for me. If we look at road running, where we've got hundreds of thousands of people, that's too big a community. Things get diluted, and you're anonymous within that community. But at 8,000, we actually are close-knit, but we're large enough that I think almost every service you could want, if you need electric gates fitted, if you need a plumber, if you need an accountant, if you need a lawyer, if you need a marketing person, if you need gear, apparel, whatever you could think of, whatever you need for your business or for your personal, I bet you can find it within the paddling community. I bet there's a fellow paddler out there who can meet that need for you. Now, the Muslim community does this really well. The Jewish community does this really well. And so as paddlers, why can't we build a paddler's economy? Why can't we do this? And I think we're perfectly positioned to do it. We're tight-knit. How many WhatsApp groups are you guys on where you're talking each time? Every time on the banks of the river, you're chatting. In the car parks, we're chatting. We do time trials together. We trip together. We go to races together. At a time trial, how difficult it is to get out of the car park. It's just chat, chat, chat. We really are a close-knit community. And I think we're missing an opportunity to really leverage that and to grow each other. It's tough. Economy's tough. COVID has taken a knock. South Africa it's a bit depressing to look at what's going on in South Africa at the moment. But if we turn inwards and look at our tribe, now I'm not saying to the exclusion of anyone else, but if we turn inward within our tribe and look after one another and have the money revolving around within us, we are really giving ourselves the best opportunity to grow and be resilient and not just survive what we're going through right now, thrive. And the international paddling community is fantastic as well. That's also really tight-knit. So even international advantages, we might have some internationals sitting on the call, but there's a fantastic opportunity internationally. If you go traveling, who we got here? Haley, I think, is our biggest traveling paddler. She can probably vouch for the strength of the community internationally. So what do we do? How do we pull this community together? Well, what I've done is I've taken one of my websites, sasurfski.com, and I've turned it into a business directory. So if you haven't done so already, sasurfski.co.za. In fact, apologies, guys, that's a mistake on the slide. It's sasurfski.com. sasurfski.com. It is a mistake on the slide. My apologies. Go over there, list your business for free. I'm not charging anything. I am trying to build a community here. List your business, put your best foot forward, and let people know that you're out there. So that's step one. But like building a shop in the middle of the Karoo, just because you've got a shop, just because you've got an outlet, if people don't know about it, they can't take advantage of it. So step two is to get the word out. Now, I'll do what I can to promote sasurfski.com, but each one of us has an opportunity to network, to leverage, to drive people to sasurfski.com, to get fellow paddlers who haven't arrived. We've got 15 people on this call. I've had about 55 people in total sign up for this webinar. think we're sitting on about 35 people who've actually shown up. So out of 8,000, we've got a long way to go. But if you guys can share the love and pay it forward and encourage people to get their businesses onto SA Surfski and then go shopping on SA Surfski to find the services that they're after, this thing's going to start snowballing. We're going to start going places. Now, there's a bigger reason behind the community side as well. As business owners, marketing can be expensive. But if we leverage the power of our tribe, we really do give ourselves superpowers. Our cost of advertising within our tribe really drops. You don't need to run adverts, Facebook ads. By the way, I'm going to come back to a whole bunch of stuff. If I talk about some things that are way ahead of you guys, you're just starting out, don't worry about it. I'm going to position this for you. But you don't need to run ads. You don't need to spend money, because inside our tribe, if we are referring and networking, our cost of advertising, our cost of marketing is going to plummet. Our cost of acquisition is going to plummet. I'm Haley's saying we've got around 2,500 CSA registered paddlers, but over 4,300 in 2019. Guys, I mean, that's a fantastic community. Those are still massive numbers. But what I was saying is your cost of acquisition, your cost of getting a client, if someone recommended Dave Hendry's services to me, the fact that someone is a fellow paddler and Dave Hendry, hey Dave, is a fellow paddler, Dave doesn't have to work so hard to land me as a client because there's an inferred credibility. We're part of the same tribe. So my cost, my time cost, my money cost, my investment cost in landing a new client within my own tribe just diminishes. It can almost go down to zero or very, very close to zero. So there's massive power in our tribe. And I encourage all of us as leaders within our paddling community. And I do position you guys as leaders because you've shown up, you've taken action, you own businesses as entrepreneurs and leaders within your commercial setup. You're naturally going to be a leader within this environment. So I encourage you, please, to pay it forward and connect. Now, before I move on for this, I want to leave you with a tip, a really powerful business tip that you can act on right away. And if you want business through the door right now within the tribe, if you want business through the door as fast as possible, do this. Go to your paddling community, the guys you train with, the girls you paddle with, whoever it is that you're seeing all the time, and spend a little bit of time getting to know their business and what would be an ideal client for that person. Then go back to your network, whatever it might be, or maybe it's yourself, and bring them business. Bring them someone that will spend money with them and hire them to do their service, fix their leaky pool, repair their gate, whatever it is, it doesn't matter. But if you bring an ideal client to someone else, we as humans are pre-programmed to acknowledge that and feel in debt, and we want to repay that favor. So if you want business for yourself, bring somebody a client. They will will not be able to help themselves. They will start to look at their network and go, how can I give back? Who can I refer to these people? How can I bring it back? So it's paying it forward, guys, building our community, but it doesn't just happen. I'm imploring every single one of you. Let's get 4,000, 5,000 people into sasurfski.com. Maybe we can get CSA involved. I don't know, but let's build this community. Let's spend money within our own community. And I think it's amazing that most of our races are sponsored by fellow paddlers. Eurosteel, Colin. We've got Bay Union, that's Gavin Searle. There's a bunch of guys out there. And a lot of our sponsors come from our own paddling community. Sean Partners overseas, these guys paddle. So let's build that. So I can't get more excited than this about the community. Moving on, community is key. Help me do it. I really want to see this thrive. It's a real motivation factor for me behind the scenes here. So let's make this a little bit bigger. Now, I know that you're probably going to stick around and listen to all 60 minutes of this simply because I've got a face for radio, because I've got a voice for a mime, and you can't get enough of it, you want to stick around. But just in case that's not enough, I'm going to bribe you. I have got what I'm calling stick bonuses. If you stick around till the end, I've got 15 people on the call this morning. We had a bit more than that. Every single person stuck around. It was amazing. I'd like to see 15 people at the end of this call. And if you do stick around, I'm going to give you the opportunity to have a personal review by myself, where I'm going to take a look at your business and let you know exactly what you should be doing next, what your next step should be to grow your business. Now, that's not a sales pitch. That's genuinely just a favor, an offer for sticking around. Then I'm going to invite you to my GSD training. What does that mean? Get shit done training. Excuse my French. I'm a distracted guy. I'm an excitable guy. I get pulled around. I developed the get shit done method to keep me focused so that every day I'm only doing tasks that move the needle of my business, that move me towards my goal. And if I've put together a training on that, it's about 20 minutes long. If you'd like access to that, if you're someone who procrastinates, if you've got a lot going on in your life, if you're working with a team, especially if you're remote, this is going to be amazing. I really love it. I'm quite proud of it. It's my own little package I put together. Stick around. I'll offer you that. And then also at the end, I'm going to take you through, if you want it, I'm going to give you the opportunity to, I won't take you through it. You can go through it yourself. A case study where I generated, I think it was in 4 days or 3 days, 100,000 rands worth of business for a client. They actually had to ask me to turn off the funnel because it was just bringing in too much business. They couldn't cope, and we pulled a case study out of that. And if you'd like to see how we did it step by step, exactly what went into it, I'll be making that available for those that are still around at the end of the training. So more on that when we get to the end. Plus, I got one more secret bonus, which I'm not going to mention just yet. And sorry, guys, getting WhatsApp, guys. Sorry, man, don't if you don't mind. Sorry, just I appreciate the WhatsApp, but hit me up on the comments here. Rather, just a bit distracting. Just got my team on WhatsApp in case something goes wrong to let me know. All right, awesome. Sorry, getting distracted with the comments here. Let's get focused. I've got one extra special secret bonus as well for a couple, actually just 3 people are going to qualify for this. Again, no sales pitch. I'm not asking for money. I'm not asking for business. I'm just sharing my value with you guys, and I hope you're going to enjoy it. Let's dive in. So what are we doing here today? I want to help you guys navigate this world of marketing so you can grow your businesses and be more successful. I do this every day. I work with startups, I work with small businesses, I work with medium-sized businesses, I work with giant businesses. And without fail, every single time, even when I'm talking to so-called marketing people, what comes across is people are overwhelmed and they're confused. So the challenge we've got at the moment is it's never been easier to market your business. We've got so many options, Facebook ads, Facebook pages, Facebook groups, Google ads, Google Display Network, YouTube ads, SEO, LinkedIn, websites, blogging. It just goes on and on and on and on. So much available. The net result is really easy to get overwhelmed. It's really hard to choose which one is the right one for me. And it's really hard to go, where am I going to get my return on my investment? You've only got so much money to spend, if any money at all. If you haven't got money, you've got time. If you've got neither of those, well, you've got to have one. You need to get your return on investment. So what's going to work for you? What's going to work for every rand you put in? How are you going to get 3 rand out, 5 rand out, 10 rand out? It's really, really confusing as to what's going on. So what we need is a tool, a method, a mechanism that allows us to kind of cut through this and to navigate our way through this crazy space, which is marketing. Now, I'm not necessarily talking about digital marketing. We can talk about other more conventional marketing, but digital marketing does dominate. So that's where we're going to focus. But it's think of it like doing a downwind. If you just focus on the wave in front of you, for those of you that are surf ski paddlers, most of us aren't. Most of us are, sorry. And if you just launched from Shloty for the Durban guys and you headed to, you're supposed to go to DUC, but you didn't keep that in mind and you just surfed the wave in front of you, you're probably not going to make it past the river mouth before you've been washed up on the beach. And then the last little bit's going to be absolute hell. So having a big plan, having a big goal, having something down the road gives you the ability to make decisions in the micro moments and that keep you focused on where you're going. And that's what I want to take you through today, how to do that. And I've developed a method called the Freedom Marketing Method. It's no accident. It's all linked with the Freedom Entrepreneur, which is one of my brands, the Freedom Paddle, one of my brands. And now we have the Freedom Marketing Method. Yes, it's all tied together. And we actually use the Freedom Marketing Method to grow the Freedom Paddle. So there's some proof in the picture right there. So one of the things I get asked at this point is, I'm just starting out. I don't even have a website. I've only got an idea. Or Rob, I've been running my business for 25 years. I know what I'm doing. This is for the digital guys. No, this is absolutely for everybody. It doesn't matter if you are at the top of your game, if you are number one. Does it get more number one than this guy? This is going to work for you. by the way, I love this photograph. I mean, that leg drive, I mean, his knee is, I mean, it's an incredible amount of power that this guy can put in. Incredible photograph here. And if there's any doubt as to why he's number one, I think you just look at this picture, you can see why. Picture speaks 1,000 words. But the freedom marketing method is going to apply to you whether you are at a Hank level within your business and your marketing. And it's also going to apply to you if you are at, well, I don't want to call it the Robin level, because I think in business I'm a little more sophisticated than what this picture of me, yes, that's me, suggests. But if you're just starting, you're just figuring it out, you're taking your first couple of strokes and you're still wobbling around, this is going to apply to you as well. And you will find your place in this, I promise, as we go through this today. Quick story about this photograph. This was my very first river race. It's the Together 20s. It was in the Drakensberg. It was freezing cold, and it starts by going over Driel Weir, which is quite a big weir. And I think the race had got Cam Skuman to come along, and I think he'd won the race a whole bunch of times, and he was busy shooting the weir a couple of times before the start as a demo. This is how you do it, guys. It's a big weir, this weir. Those of you who haven't done it, it's quite an obstacle. And before the race, I was pedaling around, and I went over to Cam, and I said, how do we do it? And he said, just follow me, just follow me. So, which I promptly did, and the gun went, and off we went, and Cam went over, and I went over on his tail, and I was chuffed as chips to see Cam take a swim and put the round side up in the sky and flap his rudder at the sky. And believe it or not, I made it. In that picture, I don't look like I made it, but I did. And that was the start of my paddling career, my river paddling career, actually. I think I've got a little bit better than that, but I think that pose is fairly common if you see me paddling down the river, mostly just in fish nowadays. But the point I'm making is this applies to you no matter where you are in your business. So the title of this webinar is How to Market Your Business as You Were Training for a Race. So let's talk about that. I like to break things down into sections. And when I'm preparing for a race, I break that preparation for a race into sections as well. Now, I know we've probably got some coaches on here. We had some coaches this morning. I'm not sure I'm looking at our members here. I think Haley's probably the closest we've got to a coach right now, but all of us have been paddling for ages. So I don't want to pretend that I'm the be all and end all when it comes to training for a race, but go with me here on my methodology. It may be a little bit wrong, but it's what works for me. And so the first step that I have when I'm going into a race is the preparation phase. And the preparation phase for me is not training. It's a cerebral, it's a mental process. It's when, number one, I choose a race. So I've got PETS London in mind for this year if it happens. Something I've been scared of for a long time and turned down, but if it happens, I'm going to line up this year. So that's my first step, is I choose the race that I'm going for. And that's a really key decision because I need to know my race. I need to know my goal in order to start making the decisions from there on. The next very important decision I need to make is what will success in that race look like? Now, if you're Bevan Manson and you're doing PETS London, or you're Bianca Bever doing PETS London, success looks like victory for you. You want to win the race. For me, PETS London, never ever done anything like that before, is to finish and not be completely broken and injured. That's my goal. Completely different kettle of fish. If you were just trying to beat your mates, if you are just trying to win, and I say just, it's not true, trying to win your age group, quite tough to do. But what is your picture of success when it comes to your race? Choose your race, and then choose your what success looks like. And those decisions are absolutely critical because based off that, you're going to choose your partner, you're going to choose your training group, you're going to decide how hard you're going to train, you're going to decide who you're going to train with, you're going to choose your coach, you're going to choose your gear. All of that is going to be hinged off what race am I doing and what is the result that I want. If I'm doing UMCO, I'm going to choose a much more stable boat than if I'm lining up for marathon champs. My training methodology is completely different from marathon champs as it would be for something like UMCO. So the point I'm making here is when it comes to marketing, we've got to go through the same process. So this is step one in the freedom marketing method, is to get clarity. So what do I mean by clarity? I mean, number one, you need to figure out what is the end game here? What is the goal you're after? Now, you guys are running a business, or you've bought a business, or you've started a business, or you own a business, but there are a hell of a lot of perks of that. There's also a lot of issues. You're the one who goes to bed wondering if you can pay salaries, if you can pay rents. Maybe you've got to do retrenchments at the moment, which are hell of an expensive. You take all those those stresses to bed every night. But the upside is you get to determine what your business looks like. You get to decide what it is. So what I want you to do at this phase is figure out, what does my life look like 4 years from now? What does my life look like 10 years from now? What do I want it to be? Where am I living? Where am I working? What am I doing? And then I want you to look at your business and go, is my business taking me in that direction? A great example is when I often ask this question of clients, it comes out, hey, I'd love to be on a beach in Mauritius, and I'd love to be, running the business from a laptop. Fantastic. It's a really lofty goal. But if you've set your business up that you are the person at the middle of the business, if you take yourself out of your business collapses. You're never going to achieve that goal. Now, there's no problem with you being in the middle of the business if that's what you want. But if you want to be working on your business and running it remotely, you need to gear your business in such a way that you're enabled to do that. So what I'm getting at right now is I'm not saying you must run your business from the beach. What I'm saying is determine what outcome you want. And then genuinely look at your business and say, is it taking me in that direction? Because right now you have the power to shape it, to make that happen. If you want to get out of your business, you need to hire a team. You need to get the information out of your head. You need to make someone else an expert, not you. You need to be the owner, not self-employed. If you want to be front and center of your business and you want to grow it and you want to get really big, you're going to have scale problems. You need to start thinking about scale now. This is not a business coaching exercise, but the point being, be clear on what you want out of it. The next phase with in clarity as well, very quickly I want to run through, is we need to figure out, what does our business do? Who do we serve? It's a really important question. Who do we serve? I'll jump in here. For me, this is critical. Who is your target audience? What community, and here is no accident that we're talking community today. What is the target avatar, the group, the finite group that you serve? What problem do they have? And how are you uniquely positioned to solve that? Remember, people don't buy your product. People never buy a product. What they're buying is a solution to a problem that they have. If you can solve a problem for a community of people, cheaper, better, faster, whatever it might be, than other existing solutions, you have a business. But people don't buy marketing services. They buy business success. They buy freedom. They buy the ability to travel. They buy the ability to leave a legacy for their kids. They don't want to buy Facebook ads. That's just a means to the end. So what is it your business does? Get clear on what it is and what it is that you're selling. Let's jump back to training. Jump back to getting ready for the race that we're talking about. So from a race perspective, we know what race we're going for. We know what outcome we want from that race. That now gives us the tools to figure out how to go about training. Now with P2 East London, I've got to do massive amounts of base and pretty much nothing else. If I was training for Freedom Paddle, I might be looking at more speed endurance type work and spending some time with my partner and getting in sync with my partner and making sure as a doubles race that we're maximizing our combined efforts. If it's marathon training, I'm going to spend a lot of time on tactical work and sitting in a wash and be able to read the race course and have intervals with sprints and dropping back and so forth. But the point being is I'm setting up my training based on the clarity that came from the preparation phase. Now, training also has within it sections. I might have a base section. I might have a speed endurance section. I may have a speed section, depending on what we're going. And I'll evolve through those sections. And as I'm evolving through those sections, I'm collecting information, I'm collecting advice, I'm trying different things, and I'm constantly fine-tuning and tweaking and practicing through these phases. I'm collecting information and I'm getting better and better. Also, what I'm doing is I'm evaluating my progress through this phase based on the section I'm in. If I'm in the base phase and I'm doing lots of slow mileage and I get a bad time trial result, I'm not going to sweat it because that's not what I'm training for. So I'm also recognizing where I am in the journey of getting ready for a race. And I'm judging and collecting and responding to information accordingly. Now, that's a fantastic talent to have when it comes to strategy. I'm being told the live stream is a bit out of sync. Maybe I seem like a bit like a kung fu movie where my lips aren't working. Not much I can do about that, guys. So bear with me on this one. But when I'm talking about the strategy phase, that is the same as the training phase when we're preparing for a race. In marketing, once we have clarity, once we know what we want, once we know who we're serving and why we're serving them, we can now start building a strategy to talk to them. if you don't have a strategy, if you don't know who you're talking to, if you don't know what problem you're solving for them, how do you put an advert together? Let me use an advert as an example. How do you choose a picture, write some words on a page? I don't care if you're putting that on a flyer. I don't care if you're putting it in a Facebook ad. I don't care if you're just putting it in an email or putting it into a newspaper. If you don't know who you're targeting and you don't know what turns them on or turns them off or what problem you're solving, what are you going to write? And I think we've all been in that situation where we just do spray and pray marketing. We talk about the features of our product. Our product, Hayley, can I use you as an example here? We've got really great sweat control fabric of our very cold Kobe top. Sorry, making a bit of a hash of that. Do I care? No. What I care about is, will this top make me more comfortable so I can train better, or not be cold at the end of a race, or have free moving arms and be comfortable no matter the temperature? That's what I'm after. So don't talk to me about the wicking properties of that garment. Talk to me about the result that it gives me. Sell futures, not features. Sell futures, not features. Sell outcomes, sell results. Don't sell the immediate. But I'm getting off topic. What I'm coming back to is, if I know I'm talking to a particular group, then I can tailor make that advert, that copy, that creative to speak directly to them. Great example. I'm talking to business owners right now who paddle. So I can use paddling words, paddling analogy, and I can talk about businesses, and I'm talking to my target group, and it's resonating, it's landing. I hope it's landing. And I know where to advert. I know what to say because I'm really, really, really focused. So that's where the strategy comes in. We also have to have a strategy to, just checking my time, a strategy to move people along, to go from, hi, I exist in this world, advertising, to this is what I'm about, to buying my product. But what do most of us do? Hi, I exist, please buy from me. Straight away. We go straight for the sale, straight up front. We need a strategy to go, hey, let's get some people into the group. Let's get them to trust us and like us. And when they're ready, they'll buy from us. It's a strategy to move us along. Like in training, we have a strategy to move people, to move ourselves from base to speed endurance to speed so we can get ready for a race. So the strategy comes from knowing who you're talking to, what turns them on, what are their problems, and speaking to those problems. I hope that's making sense. Hit me up in the comments there, guys. Give me some thumbs up, thumbs down. If I'm losing you, let me know what's going on there. As I say, it's very lonely out here. I'm sitting in my office yelling at a webcam, and nice to have some comments coming through from everybody out there. All right, coming back to the race now. It's race day. Time to get out there, time to get going. Our focus has shifted. What do we do on race day? We've done the homework, we've practiced, we've got strategy, we know what paddle works for us, we've got the feather angle right, I got the right gear on, I'm dressed head to toe in Kobe. You're going to send me some Kobe stuff here, the Hayley? No, joking. I'm sorted. My boat's right. I've got the right boat for it. I've got my nutrition sorted out. I've sorted it all out in my training. Now it's time to deliver. So this is where the focus shifts a little bit. On race day, I've got to start playing to my strengths. I've got to amplify what works for me. If I am a rhythm and flow athlete, that's me. I'm all about sitting on the wash, finding a run, conserving energy, not taking the pull. So I've got to find a group. I've got to get in there. I've got to play to my strengths. All right. I've got to look for advantages. There's a run, a wake that comes through, a current that someone else has missed it. I've got to have my eyes open. I've got to jump onto that to get ahead. So my focus shifts. I'm amplifying my strengths, and I'm getting lean and mean, so I waste no energy whatsoever. Let me give you an example. Let me give a paddle example of that. So there's that great picture of Hank. We was all coiled up there, ready to paddle, and so he's got his blade there. He's caught the catch. Now, in that moment when we're paddling, we've got to line everything up behind that catch. And as that paddle pulls into the water for the next 30 centimeters, that's where our drive comes forward. And the more we can line up all our resources behind that catch, the leg drive, the balance, the weight on the paddle, everything is lined up behind that, we're going to get the maximum return from that. Hank is not the strongest paddler on the water. No way. But what Hank is the most efficient paddler on the water. He's lined everything up. So on race day, he is lean and mean and wasting no energy. He's not on a boat that's too unstable for him where we're wasting energy staying upright. He's perfectly poised, so everything goes into that stroke. And that's what we need to be doing on race day. Be focused, amplify our strengths, get rid of what is not working. And it's exactly the same in marketing. We need to move into a quality stage. once we know what works, once we have a methodology of how we're going to get a crowd to listen to us, an audience, how we're going to nurture them to trust us and get to the point they're ready to buy. Once we have a basic methodology of how that's working, now we need to go, right, let's look at that and go, what's really working? What's fantastic for me? Let me give you a crazy example. I'm not a fan of flyer drops, but I'm going to use flyer drops because they're easy to understand. If I did flyer drops and a Facebook ad and I put an advert in the newspaper, and all of those brought me some business. But if I was tracking those smartly and I was able to know where my business came from, and I realized the flyer drop is actually the most powerful, I can line up my resources behind that. And if I was doing a 5,000 Rand flyer drop and it gave me 20,000 Rands worth of business, hell, if I do a 10,000 Rand flyer drop, it should give me 40,000 Rands worth of business. We're lining up behind it. So that's what we do with our marketing in the quality phase. That's when your marketing strategy is starting to mature and lining everything up so that we get the maximum return for our results, for the effort that we're putting in rather. Whew, okay, I'm going to unpack this a little bit further. I want to hit pause there. I've got some comments coming through there, guys. Thanks so much. Brilliant stuff, guys. Just let me know if any questions at this point. Let's give us a shout. We're halfway through. Before I dive any deeper, just hit me up with some questions that are there. And by the way, guys, really appreciate the comments. Thanks so much. It is lonely sitting here in the desk. I'm used to talking to a group of people where I'm feeding off the crowd. And right now, I'm kind of imagining the crowd out front. You guys all sitting behind your computers there, maybe on your phones. And it's no one to bounce anything off here. So let me know in the comments how things are going. But with your permission, give me a thumbs up if you're keen. I'm going to just unpack the freedom marketing method a little bit more detail. We've actually got 3 steps hiding behind each one of the major blocks. And I want to walk you through those in the remaining 25 minutes we've got left. But let me recap quickly. Get clear on what it is you want from your business. Make sure your business is serving you. You don't serve your business. Your business serves you. Who are you serving in terms of a community? What problem do they have? How do you solve their problem? Get clear on that. Then devise a strategy where you can reach those people and talk to them and get them to fall in love with you. When someone's falling in love with you, they're more likely to buy from you. And then once you've got that working out, get ruthless, get focused, and amplify what works. Cut away what is wasting your time, distracting you, stealing your money, stealing your energy. That is Marketing 101. That is the freedom marketing method as an overview. All right, fantastic. Thanks, guys. I'm going to dive straight in. Let's move on ahead. And as I said, this is called the freedom marketing method. And let's have a look at this in more detail. Let's make this a little bit bigger here. All right, so we've just moved this over on the slide to give ourselves a bit more space. I'm going to leave the paddling analogy behind a little bit right now. And we're just going to talk a little bit more strictly about marketing. And let's start at the clarity phase. This is a journey. This is a roadmap. You don't do all of this at once. You need to find where you belong on this roadmap currently, where you are right now. And if you stick around to the end, I can help you do that and decide what your next step is. That's all you need to do. Today, I want you just to grasp the bigger picture, but don't get overwhelmed by it. Just know ultimately where you're going. But today, where am I today? What do I do tomorrow? And this is really going to help you. There we go. So the first step under clarity is perfect vision. Get your business serving you. Make sure you've got that lined up. Really got to make that lined up. And I want you to think about your business model as well. Are you generating enough money from your business model? Seriously, if you want to live the life you want, you need to set your business up to generate enough money. As an entrepreneur, you control what you earn. As tough as that might be, you control what you earn. Now, the whole nother something else we can dive into about mindsets and how we have self-limiting beliefs. But what is your vision for you, your life? I'm using Haley as an example here. Haley, I hope you don't mind, but a pro athlete is a fantastic example of that. A pro athlete has a vision of success. They want to be the best in the world. They don't know how they're going to get that. They just have an unshakable belief of how they're going to do that. They don't know how they're going to travel overseas to get to those events, how they're going to fund that. But with undying belief and a vision, it happens. It comes true. And that's the power of that vision, the power of goal setting. So what is your business and how does it serve you? Get super clear on your business. Then your perfect target audience. You want to find a group of people, and why can't it be paddlers, by the way, depending on what you do. You want to find a group of people who are combined by a common problem. What's my group of people? I focus on competitive athletes, competitive sports people who own or run a business. They have a common problem in that their business, in almost every instance, wants more sales, wants more leads, wants more structure, wants more guidance. But they're also bound together by a work ethic, a common love for a sport. And most importantly, I'm able to access that community. I'm able to access the paddling community. I'm able to access the mountain biking community. I'm able to access the surfing, the sub community. So that's my perfect audience, is the competitive sports person, because I am one of that group and I understand, hopefully, how things tick. So what is yours? What is yours? What problem is your business super set up to solve? And who has that problem? Now, if you're saying anyone or everyone, problem. So I have a water filtration business on the side, buywaterfiltersonline.co.za, small punt. If you need water filters, head over to buywaterfilters.co.za, buywaterfiltersonline.co.za, and you can order a water filter. It'll come straight through to you. Now, everybody drinks water, and everybody should be drinking healthy water. But how do I advertise to everyone? How do I advertise to anyone who is interested in a water filter? I can't. How can I speak language that's going to make sense to a 65-year-old white English-speaking male from Zululand, and the same advert is going to make sense to a divorced mom of 3 sitting in Bergvliet, struggling to make ends meet? It is completely different. I need to choose who I'm targeting. And coincidentally, I'm actually, in that particular business, I focus on single moms who are renting their homes. I've narrowed my niche down. I've cut out the others, but that lets me talk a specific language to them, and it resonates. And now they feel like this solution I'm presenting to their problem has made just for them. It's a perfect fit. And that's what we're going for with marketing, is the right words to the right person at the right time. And it comes down to perfect avatar and the problem that you solve for them. So get clear on that. What problem do you solve, and who do you solve it for? For me, if I had to choose one thing out of everything we're talking about today, that is by far the most powerful. If you get that right, who do I target? What problem do I solve? And how can I package that? How do I package that so it suits them directly? A single mom divorced with kids is less likely, I'm generalizing, I know, but is less likely to have a lump sum of cash to buy a very expensive filter. So I need to package my water filters in a way that is affordable to her. Let me give you a real life example. I was working with an architect about 3 months ago, and we went through this exercise. We went through the clarity exercise, and we unpacked all of these things. And what we came across is the perfect avatar was being overwhelmed by the architectural services. And developing services for a client as an architect is overwhelming. You do so much. You're involved in the project for so long. And it's a massive thing for a client to commit to. There's so much they don't know. There's so much they don't understand, and they get overwhelmed. And when we're overwhelmed and we're confused, soundbite, guys, people buy what they understand. People don't necessarily buy the best. They buy what they understand. So be easy to understand. Don't have to be comprehensive. You need to be easy to understand. So what we did is we say, all right, how can we take their offer, this massive architectural service that they do, and project manage a whole build of an estate, how can we bring it down? And we asked the question, what is our biggest problem, initial problem that the target avatar has? And what we came up with is these guys have a vision in their heads. They have a dream house in their head that they want to see come true. They want to see this thing. But working with an architect, everything's in plans, everything's in weird elevations, it's flat. If you don't have the vision, how do you see it? And it's overwhelming, it's too much. So what we did is we came up with the concept of rapid visualization. And these guys happen to be really good on tech as architects. And we developed a product where within 1 week, this is a live service, by the way, Maker DNA is the name of the architectural firm, a live service where someone within 7 days could have a 3D visualization of their dream home and be able to digitally walk through that home and experience their home and see if their dream actually makes practical sense. And they're selling that as a finite product. I think it's about 15,000 Rand, and they'll walk you through that, give you your virtual house. And it is just upped conversions massively because people are now buying in bite-sized chunks. They've developed a perfect offer. I don't know if you can read it. That's the last step in the clarity phase. They've developed an offer that suits their perfect avatar. All right, they've productized, they've broken up their big offer into something small first, into a micro step, a mini conversion, a first step. And trust me, once someone has walked through their house, do you think they're going to go to a different architect now to ask them to do drawings or plans? Of course, they're going to stick with the next one. So we developed a second product where we would do base drawing plans for a finite price. So what we've done is taken a massive, massive, massive product and we've broken it down into small little steps, and we've given people a product ladder where they can micro convert up a ladder and slowly take advantage of the full architectural service. So tailor your offer to your perfect avatar. Understand who it is, what problem you solve, and how can you reposition your services to suit that and solve that problem and talk to that person. I hope that's making sense. And you might be asking, what the hell has this got to do with marketing? Marketing is all about adverts and clever words and Facebook this and Google that and so forth. Now, those are components. Those are tactics within the marketing world. But marketing is actually about getting inside their head and understanding who you're talking to. And the clarity phase is all about that, getting inside someone's head and understanding what it's about. Because what getting clear does is it lets us move into the strategy phase and actually start to execute and do marketing activities that are going to get us results. So in the strategy phase, once we're clear on our business, who we're serving and why, and how we're packaging our offer, we can now set about attracting an audience to us. We can now start advertising, networking, word of mouth, whatever it might be that you can use. There's so many tools and tricks and tactics there. By the way, whatever you use must suit your audience. So I was sitting on a mailing list of paddlers, and I'm sitting on WhatsApp groups, and I'm sitting on Facebook groups. So I used those channels to reach out to you guys to invite you to this. So that was the channels I chose, as opposed to a Facebook ad or taking out an advert in a publication. So choose something that works for you. But you can see how having clarity and know how you're talking to is going to help you choose the channel that you're going to advertise to. All right, what channel are you going to use? You're going to now, of all those things that you've got available to you, Facebook, YouTube, LinkedIn, SEO, all these things, you can now start saying, hang on, I now have a tool to choose which one's going to work for me. Now you want to attract these people and you want to attract a large audience, because obviously as we move down this process, the audience is going to get smaller. So what are you doing to attract the right, perfect customer to your business? Ask yourself that question. What are you doing? What is the goal of the attract phase? It's not to sell. The goal of the attract phase is simply to get people to know you exist and to like you, to stick around long enough to hear more about your product. That's all. Don't be selling at this point, because we're proposing marriage on the first date. You just want to get people to know you. If this is your base zone, this is not when you do time trials and try and get PBs and high averages. This is your base zone. This is the bottom end of the pyramid. Get people through the door, get them to like you, give them some value, give them something. Let them know you exist. We can unpack, each business is different. We can unpack exactly what that means at a later stage. But at this phase, you are attracting. Once we've done that, out of this audience that now know you exist and now like you, we want to get them to start to trust you. And trust means making themselves vulnerable to some extent. It's a sign that, okay, I don't mind what you're saying. You're talking a language I can get behind. I have a problem. You look like you might be someone who can solve that problem for me. Tell me more. All right, you want that sign. And the sign that someone is trusting you is they give up their time. They make themselves vulnerable because you could waste their time. Maybe they give you an email address. Maybe they make a meeting. Maybe they hand you a business card. But there's signs there those people are starting to trust you and respect that you might know what you're talking about. Now, for those of you that are paying attention and not flicking around on WhatsApp, I don't know, none of you are doing that. You're all paying attention. You may go, Rob, is that not what you're doing right now? What is the purpose of my webinar right now? My purpose of my webinar is to build a community within the competitive sports world of people who I can develop trust with. And that's what's happening right now. I'm building my community. I'm not selling anything. This is a zero pitch webinar. I'm building trust. I'm marketing right now. I'm not selling. I'm marketing and I'm giving value. Give. So what are you doing to build trust? How often are you communicating with your audience? Where are you fitting in on this roadmap so far? Have you found your spot? And what should you be doing tomorrow? Get clear? Or are you ready at the trust building phase and looking to enhance and build that trust? Once we have people's trust, now it's time to potentially close them. Now, closing is a bad word. I use it because it's commonly known, but closing is a shocking word. It makes me think of salesmen, used car salesmen handling objections, slick words that's, before you know it, you've bought and you don't know why and you're bamboozled. That's not how it works. If you've attracted the right person to you and they are perfectly suited to the solution that you have for their problem, they will ask you to say, I love what you're doing. Here's my money. Solve my problem for me. They will close themselves. So in this phase, really what I'm talking about is being ready to recognize that they're ready to buy, and then being ready to make that transition from trust building to being a paying customer as seamless as possible. That means having paying mechanisms ready to go. That means, it must be super easy for them to pass money through to you. Have your proposal, put it together quickly, get those quotes in super fast, get that invoice in fast, have multiple payment methods. But most importantly is we want to have their transition period from a prospect to a paying client to be amazing. Absolutely amazing. What most of us do is we spend so much effort into landing a client that we have little energy for them once they become a client. Job done. We've got their money. Pass them off onto the next one. And that really leaves a bad taste in people's mouths. And they don't... the referral game down the market, which we'll talk about down the road, starts to fall apart. So in your closing phase, it's your onboarding sequence. Get it absolutely as slick and as seamless as you can. I'm going to use Daniel Sheard as an example. Dan, if you don't mind, Dan runs an amazing business called Africa Links Travel. And he does bespoke tours for those of you up in Durban. If you want to come to Cape Town, in fact, anywhere in the country, but you want to come to Cape Town and experience the Western Cape like never before, Dan's your man. He'll put together a tour for you that's absolutely amazing. But something Dan could do is once a client books with Dan and he's closing, he wants to make that as seamless as possible. And then through that process, he can be, and Dan, I'm rolling with the punches here, sending them YouTube videos, sending them clips, insights into the tour that they've chosen, make them feel so chuffed and proud that they've made the right decision. Send them a clip of the helicopter tour, the wine farm they're going to visit. Let them know about the special thing you've set up for them. Once you've taken their money, step it up a gear. Don't step back, step up. Because what you're doing is you're laying super fertile ground to get a raving review and a raving customer, which is going to come around to you, and you're going to end up getting into what I call the socialize aspect of it, which we'll come to in a moment. So let me put a pause on that, and let's move through. We've got about, I think, 6 or 7 minutes left, and let's keep running. Now, my slide has jumped ahead a little bit, guys, and we're now into the quality stage, and this is the amplify. Now, this fits lovely with the race analogy, because like I've said, at the quality phase, it's all about lining up our efforts. I'm going to go through this quite quickly because very few of you guys will be at this stage, but it's all about recognizing what has worked for you in the strategy stage, what has gotten you results, and doing more of that. If you were running Facebook ads or brochures or these things, recognize one of them was working better than the other and line up your activities behind that and amplify them. Do more of what works. But how do you know what works? Pay attention. Have your ears open, your antenna out, and track your marketing activities, just like you do when you're paddling. You track what works. You go, I feel better in this boat than that boat. I prefer this paddle to that paddle. These pair of paddling pants are more comfortable than those paddling pants. You're making micro decisions along the way, guided by the big vision, the race. P2's London, I need to be comfortable. So the clothing I'm going to wear has got to be super comfortable. So I'm judging it based on that. Whereas if I was just going to lining up for a time trial, I can deal with uncomfortable clothing for a short while. So my clarity determines my goal, determines my decisions on a day-to-day basis. So when we get to the quality phase, amplify what works. Then we want to get lean and mean, like Hank when he's paddling. We want to get everything lined up behind that paddle stroke. We want to optimize. We want to get rid of everything that is not helping us move the needle. And guys, my get shit done training that I promised you, you're sticking around to the end. Fantastic. I think almost everyone's here. It's amazing. Quite flattered. The get shit done training is going to help you do exactly that, to optimize and make sure that every day all you're doing is moving the needle in terms of going towards your goal. You're not wasting time with activities that are distracting you. You have a goal, and we want to go there every single day. We want to do just what's needed to hit a target, optimize. Now, from a marketing point of view, we got to figure out what that might be. That might be, spending time on your Facebook ads and really getting your audiences right, or pamphlet drops. It doesn't matter, and it's outside of the scope of what we're talking about today. But get lean and mean on what works, because you've only got so much money to spend. We want to maximize the return on that thing. If we put in 1 Rand in and we were getting 3 Rand out, how can I get 5 Rand out? How can I get 10 Rand out of my 1 Rand? All right, we want to optimize. Which brings me to the last one, which is one I'm really excited about. Socialize. Socialize is when we leverage the power of our community. We leverage the power of our community to grow our businesses. This is the holy grail of marketing, in my opinion. It's when customers who've given us money, they are paying us to market for us. If I've got a raving fan, someone who thinks what my business is amazing, they are going to be pre-programmed to share the love, to tell everyone about it, to go, I went on this tour with Dan Sheard, and it was absolutely amazing. If you go to South Africa, you go to Cape Town, you have to work with this guy. Dan, I hope the check's in the post. It's really about leveraging the power of your community. And your community is your target audience who may not have worked with you, but it's also your paying customers. And this can actually fit anywhere. I put it at the end because it's the holy grail. And if you're doing this, you're going to have a flood of happy customers, and you can start leveraging that. But there's no reason why, from a networking basis or referral basis, you can't start getting ideal customers, the right customers through the door, using your network, using your social skills, as it were. Now, I'm so excited about this. I've actually put a product together. Now, you're kind of thinking, hey, here comes the pitch. No, I'm not pitching anything. I have developed and testing a program, a service, a mechanism, a tool to leverage this. And I'm looking for 3 companies. It's out of this morning's group and this afternoon's group. I'm looking for 3 companies to help me trial this. No cost. It'll be on the house. So if this is something you're interested in, I'm going to tell you how you can volunteer for this in a moment. But I need you to be an existing business who's got a good number of clients going through the door each day, and you've got a reasonably high ticket item with them. It doesn't have to be crazy expensive, but I don't want the greengrocer who's, your customers buying apples from you. I want somebody spending a bit more money, and there's a relationship. There's been to and fro, a couple of meetings, and there's been a connection. That is my ideal person to test with that. So if you are someone who fits those criteria, we've got this program called Review Genius, and I'm just testing it before we take it to market. If you'd want to be part of the testing, I'd really appreciate that. So let me know in the once we get to the end. I'll tell you how to do that. Now, the other side of Socialize is reviews. Thanks to Amazon, they started it, is getting 5-star reviews. Now, if I'm trying to choose between sure, I've got a coffee cup on my table. I've got coffee cup number 1 and my sanitizer. Let's assume these are 2 coffee cups. And I'm trying to decide between one or the other. Both full, both do the job. And by the way, this is my West Coast Express coffee cup. Best bloody thing I ever got in a goodie bag at all. Ever. I use it every single day. It keeps my coffee warm after I forget about it. And I'm trying to decide between these 2. And both are equally good. Both solve my problem. Both keep my coffee warm. Both have got a non-spill cup in them. They meet all of my requirements. It's a perfect solution. How do I decide between the 2? I might decide on price. But I'm more likely to be swayed by the reviews. If this one is getting 5-star reviews from lots of people, and this one's got 1-star review, and it looks like it came from the person's husband or wife or, mother, I'm less likely to choose it. So the power of community to help people make that final buying decision is absolutely massive. So are you asking your clients at the moment, are you asking them to review you on Google, on Facebook, on your website, on directories? If not, why not? Because it gives you superpowers. It helps people Just get over the edge and make that buying decision. Guys, we're almost coming to an end. I've got 2 minutes left. I want to recap really quickly, and then we'll dive into those bonuses I said at the end. So let me just make this a little bit bigger. And let's recap the Freedom Marketing Method. As I said, this is a roadmap. Don't take this all on board at once. It's going to overwhelm you. But what you do need to know is there's a start point and there's an end point. Where are you on this map? And what do you need to do next? Most of us, even if you're in business, probably need to start at the beginning and really think about what our business does and how does it serve us. Then we need to figure out who we're serving and what problem we're solving and how we can package our offer to suit that niche. Maybe you guys have been selling in a point of view where they just buy once off. Maybe a membership model would work better. Maybe they could pay something off. Maybe you've been selling a massive service that you could break down into bite-sized chunks. There's many ways you could structure your offer. In your strategy, what are you doing to attract an audience to you? What are you doing to get that audience to fall in love with you? And are you ready to close the deal when they are ready to close and really show them what it's all about and how fantastic it is to do business with you? Once that's in place, you need to evaluate what's working, what's not, do more of what's working, do less of what's not working, and then make sure you're lining up all your forces behind the outcome that you want, and socializing lets you do that. Let your customers sell your services for you, empower them to do so, get reviews, ask them to yell it from the hills. And if you've done a great job, people are desperate. It's not a chore for them. If someone has done a great job for me, I want to tell the world. But at the same time, if I do a crap job from someone, they'll also tell the world. So it's a double-edged sword. But everyone on this call, I bet you, does fantastic work. So that's not a problem. Guys, moving on. I promise you some stick bonuses. You'll be sticking around. We started with 15 people. We finished with 17 people. Fantastic. Super stoked. I don't think I've ever done a webinar where I've had more people at the end than when we started. So fantastic. And as promised, here are the stick bonuses. Now, I've got 4 of them for you. Number 1, a personal review of your business. If you're not sure where you belonged in the Freedom Marketing Method, what to do next, myself and a member of my team wants to help you do that. So if you're keen on this, in the comments, if you're on Facebook, stick it in the comments. If you're on YouTube, stick it in the comments. If those things aren't working for you, WhatsApp me, email me. Everyone here should have had an email from me, but send me the word diagnosis so we can diagnose where you are in the Freedom Marketing Method and what you should do next. And I promise you, 100% guarantee it will not be a pitch. You will not be sold to. I will help you. I love this paddling community. My best friends come from this paddling community. And if you guys can thrive and grow and do better with my help, I will be absolutely flattered. And I know that at some stage, you'll spend money with me. That's fine. When that comes, and if it comes, that's fantastic. But right now, I just want to help you grow. And just send me the word diagnosis, and we can get that going for you. If you'd like to be part of the Get Shit Done program, this is a self-training service. It's one training video. It's 30 minutes long. Do it whenever you want. There's no problem there. It's completely free on the house. No sales pitch in that whatsoever. But if you want to know what you should be doing every single day so that you're not wasting time and you're not procrastinating and you're moving the needle, then just put GSD, Get Shit Done. Put GSD into the comments. Again, text me, WhatsApp it me, send it to me by carrier pigeon. Just make sure I've got it and make sure I know who it is. If you're anonymous, I don't know who it is. And we'll hook you up with that. And I'm going to skip to the last one. If you want to see the 100K marketing funnel that we put together, give me the word funnel. By the way, you can do all of these, guys, not limited. Just text me the word funnel and we'll get that over to you. Again, no pitch in there whatsoever. You can just kind of look over my shoulder and see how I put that together. A funnel, by the way, is just a fancy word for saying, how did I attract people to me? How did I nurture them? How did I get them to buy something? How did I get them through that process? And that's called a funnel. And I can take you through how we did that. And then if you think you qualify for the Review Genius program, if you have a business, you've got some customers, they spend a decent bit of money with you and they're raving about you. Well, you don't even have to rave about you, by the way. They just need to have a connection with you. And you'd like to kind of plug into that power of socialize. Just send me the words Review Genius. This will be a paid for service eventually, but not now. I just need some people to test it with. So, whoops, I've gone 3 minutes over time. So, guys, I want to give a massive thank you for joining me. For 16, 17 people here, that's fantastic. Thanks for becoming part of my audience. and really, really appreciate your time. I'm going to stick around. I'm going to keep talking some shit. Excuse my language. Send me questions in the group there. Let me know where you're at. I'm happy to chat, but we're pretty much done. If you've got to run, if you've got to get to that urgent message that you've been putting off now while you've been listening to me speak, go ahead and do it now. But guys, the comments are open. Hit me up with some questions. Let me know what's going on. Put GSD, funnel, or diagnosis into the comments, or Review Genius into the comments, depending which one you're after. And we can take you through those processes. And as I promised, guys, zero pitch. I'm not in the business of selling right now. I'm in my trust building phase, and the sale will come. You guys will tell me when you're ready to do businesses with me. I'm not even going to tell you what services that I offer. It does not matter. Right now, I want to build a community of paddlers who are supporting one another and growing our community, growing our sport, growing our link, and becoming a more powerful and a group where not only we survive, that we thrive. If you haven't done it yet, sasurfski.com, please go and register your business there. Check it out. Go through there. It is completely free. It costs you absolutely nothing. On top of that, really, really want you guys to promote that business for me. It's there's no upside for me. There's no money changing hands. It's purely community driven. Promote it, guys. We've got 4,500 people registered at CSA now. I got 55 people who took advantage of this offer. 4,500 people should be sitting on this webinar and learning how to grow their businesses. And if you want to put something together for the business community, for the paddling community, I'm more than happy to help do that. Let's just respect each other. Don't sell, offer value, and the sale will come in due time. Guys, thanks so much. I've got a lot of Facebook users here. In other words, I've got someone who said diagnosis, and they're anonymous. I've got someone else who said GSD, please. Personal review of my tutoring business. Sorry, guys, you're also anonymous. I don't know who you are. Please let StreamYard know who you are, or reply to my email so I know who that is. Quite a few people, guys, coming through as anonymous. So just recognize that. If you have asked to get one of the stick bonuses and we can't identify who you are, we're not going to be able to get it to you. If you're having trouble with the Facebook side, WhatsApp me or reply to one of my emails, robin@leadgenius.co.za, or reply to me on any one of the other emails I've reached out to you, be it the Durban Surfski mail, SA Surfski mail, or even the Freedom Paddle mail, and we'll get you going. Any questions, guys? For those that are left, 13 people, maybe one or two people want to share with us very briefly, what is their biggest challenge? What is your biggest headache with marketing your business right now? What's stopping you from taking the next step? Thanks, Haley. Thanks, Dave. Thanks, Lisa. Some really, really kind words, guys. Really appreciate it. So we'll hang around. I'll hang around for another minute or so. Throw those questions into the. I'm getting pinged. My team's telling me that those names actually are showing on Facebook. They're not coming through on StreamYard. So maybe we can pick up on Facebook who it is that's asking for various things. Awesome. Thank you, Gary. Very kind words. Appreciate it. Awesome. Not knowing how to market effectively. Yeah, I mean, that I think is the overwhelming and confusing thing. Hopefully I've unraveled a little bit of that. How do you market effectively? What starts with being really clear on what it is you market, what it is you're selling, and who should be buying it. So what community do you solve a problem for? And that's going to let you craft your message. Once we've got the message, we start looking at that community that you're targeting, going, where do they hang out? How do I reach them? And then we use the message and we send it down that channel to reach them and ask them to engage with you. And there's a lot we can unpack down here. Daniel shared, my business is currently illegal. Well, not quite sure I'm equipped to help you tackle that one. But Dan, what we can do in this page is marketing's not illegal, maybe service delivery, but here's a time for you to build your network and build your audience as big as possible and become the absolute go-to #1 authority on the hidden gems of South Africa. If you want to know what's going on in South Africa, you read Dan Sheard's blog and become the #1 resource for the secret scenes in Cape Town. And that's going to lead to a massive audience that you can nurture And those are the guys that are going to be booking with you. And Dan, in particular, for yourself, I know you work with high-end clients. So your clients actually probably the high-end travel agents, which you would know. So that's who your audience is, and we need to target them. Good stuff. Trying to get a new web-based business off the ground, battling to figure out the marketing part. Organic search will not work for reasons we can discuss offline. We'll have to exercise and don't really know what's next. Good stuff. Let me tell you what's next is what problem does your business solve and for which community? That's where your next step is. You're battling to get a web business off the ground. Who do you serve? What problem do you solve? Who do you serve? What problem do you solve? That is what unlocks marketing power. Answer those questions, and then we can start taking the next step. Excellent, guys. Dave, thanks so much. Yep, I'm hoping I'm going to actually got to sign off because I'm going to get on the water this afternoon. The weather's turning in Cape Town, but the water's always cold even when the sun is shining. So HTFU, and we go paddling. Guys, a massive gratitude for this. Please spread the love. You are part of my audience now. I will be reaching out to you with more videos. I'll be reaching out to you with content, with emails and so forth. They will be of tremendous value to you. They will not be spam. You can unsubscribe at any level. But my mission is to grow your businesses and to help you do it and to get you to a point where your businesses can grow and can afford service from the likes of myself. So look out for those. And thank you so much. I really do appreciate your time and your trust in me. And I'll be signing off shortly. And really stoked to be a member of this tribe and looking forward to seeing this tribe go from strength to strength, the paddling tribe. Thanks, guys. See you later.